And so we begin the process of building the audience. Da-na-na. Technology is a wonderful thing. Meanwhile, welcome to Glue Wednesday. The reason I've named it Glue Wednesday. Hey, what's up, Haas? Since I'm doing the building the audience, I figure I'll explain the session first, for those who come on. Hey, Linda. Chicago in the house, Virgo season coming up always. But I call it Glue Wednesday because so often people have given the cliche, the nickname to Wednesday as being hump day. And I like to say that hump has the connotation of the need to get over, when Wednesday is actually the middle day of a traditional 7-day week, keeping the week beginning and the week end together. So to me, Wednesday is the glue, because not everyone works from a Monday to Friday or Sunday to Saturday type of thing. So it's not always the hump day. Some people's first day of the week is Thursday, or even Wednesday. But either way, I decided that hump has a negative connotation. Not that it's a bad word, but you know how word sensitive I am. And I decided to give it a positive connotation of being the glue, because we don't need to get over. We need to keep it together. So that's what Glue Wednesday is all about. G-L-U-E, God's love undoes everything. And not that it takes things apart, but that whatever you're going through, and you can look at your track record and confirm this, whatever you've been through was something that you were going through, and you've made it through. So that's the intro while this is building the audience. We've got less than 3 minutes to go. And I want to at least get that intro out so that when people watch the broadcast, they can know what Hump Wednesday is all about. Thank you. All right, Haas, thanks again. And, I got a real interesting topic for myself today. I'm excited about it. Of course, I'm always excited. So what you going to do? That's just the beauty of life, is being excited. Okay, who else did we just get in? Somebody just came. Oh, man, James, what's up? 3150 in the house. Yeah. Is it 3150, James? I know you with Grant. James Robinson. Okay, I'll figure it out. But I know, James, tell me where you're from. Cool, James, because I know you family. All right. We got less than 2 minutes to go. And then we'll get this on the roll. Linda, did you click in and click out? All right, that happens. Yeah, but anyway, look, always, if you have any questions, throw them in the comment box, and if I can get to them during the broadcast, I will. If not, I'll answer them afterwards, which is what I tend to do anyway, because I try to keep this going and get it out of the way. I'm trying something new, having it at 3 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock. Originally, I was having it at 12, figuring it was people's lunch. But I actually found, unofficially, that that 3 o'clock works. Okay. Oh, 31. Oh, yeah, that James. Gotcha, James. Thank you. I knew it was fam. Okay. Yeah. All right. Jimmy. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because we used to call you Jimmy, right? All right. Yeah. But I found that a lot of people are available at 3 o'clock. And so, so that I can get more interaction, that's why I said, well, let me try 3 and just see. So y'all can always let me know if you prefer 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And you don't need to be on the live broadcast to let me know that. You can always send me that comment after you watch the broadcast so that I can know and have a gauge on what I'm going to be doing for the next week, because maybe I'll bring it to you earlier. But what I found that when I did it, hey, what's up, Donald? Man, one of my mentor basketball players, junior high school 43. All right. Okay. All right, we got less than a minute to go before the real broadcast starts, so let's get ready to do that. But hey, what's up, Zelda? God bless you, my sister in Chicago. Always good to hear from you and see from you. Yeah, and blessings to Tony. Hang in there. All right. Okay, let's get started. A Glue Wednesday. Today, my message is I said, I gave a little teaser saying I'm putting together political and a spiritual and political message together. And here's what it actually is. I'm calling today's message Levels of Presidency. Because in 2000, when I was in Chicago, I had a chance to create a poem. Hey, Brenda, I had a chance to create a poem for a group called, Zelda, you can help me with this. It was the Black Presidents Alliance, but I think there were like 18 different presidents of small businesses or corporations in Chicago. So they weren't always the owners, but they were in good positions at these companies, and we honored them. And I had the blessing and the joy of creating a poem for them, and a tribute poem for them that I read at the gala, and that we gifted each one of them with it as an honoree, and I called it Levels of Presidency. So that's what I decided to make my topic today. And then I'm going to read you the poem that I wrote, and then I'll break it down and show you why I see it as a combination for us, a combination of a connection of political and spiritual connection that we need. So the poem is actually in my book, Your Name Came to Mind. And here's the intro. The intro actually covers the last group of poems in the book. So this is in that last group of poems, but at least you'll get a feel for why it was written and what group it's in. And it says, so often we want to justify trials and tribulations in our lives as acts of the devil. The twists, turns, and drops in my life have all come compliments of God's love for me and mine for God. There's no other power at work in my life. The deeper I look within, the more joy I find in sharing my gift with you. May these last poems remind you to stay the path of faith that has delivered you today. Know that each of us is in place right now to save a life. Know that there's no life more important to save than your own, because yours is an intrinsic message that simply must be shared. So this poem is in that group about how important it is for us to recognize that. And in fact, I did a mean post today that said, stop giving the devil credit for what God is giving him or her permission to do in your life. Because see, everything that goes on in my life is from God, the good and the bad, because he's always, we say we're in work in process. See, you got to think about the cliches that you use in your life. Do you really know what you're saying? We say we're a work in progress. Well, doesn't every work in progress have ups and downs? Don't you have to refine, things that we do? So you got to bend and shape and mold. Okay, so all of that stuff. But so here's the poem, Levels of Presidency. I'm going to read the poem, and then I'm going to break it down for us. Levels of Presidency. Some of us are in charge of companies, others just our families and ourselves. Thus, we're all at some level of presidency. So the real question is, what's on your shelves? Are your shelves filled with old ideas, with volumes and volumes about how you won't change? Or is there just a little less dust on each chapter of your life to confirm that you have rearranged? Rearranged priorities, shifted opinions, even grown from constructive feedback. And do your shelves say you've benefit or lost because your heritage revealed that you're Black? Are your shelves tall? I don't want to say high, because I'm not talking about what you may want to get to allow your mind to drift away from my truth. Because my truth attacks you in a silent spot that has a sign saying, please see the head librarian. In other words, a spot that you don't truly want to share because you don't truly want to be set free. Are your shelves tall? With volumes and volumes of tales about what you could have done, might have been, or should have had, If only your stories didn't let your scapegoat be the hero? And have they gotten too tall for you to recognize yourself as tapped on the shoulder by grace that saved you from sitting on the have-not side of the fence? Or are your shelves tall because each of us here respects your top shelf mentality? We support your worthiness, value, and reputation of being head and shoulders above the rest. So we read on about you, smile, and occasionally look back, never once deciding that you benefited or lost simply because you're Black. Are your shelves as filled on the left as they are on the right? Are your morals and values in visible sight? Are the things we should really know about you neatly filed away? Or do we get to read about your viewpoints and quote what you have to say? Can we enjoy you as a novel, laugh at your comic books, thumb through the photo albums, enjoy the memories and the evolution of your look? Will we give you the credit you deserve without attack and recognize there's no benefit or loss? You're just good. And in your case, you happen to be Black. And some of us are in charge of companies, others just our families and ourselves. You see, we're all at some level of presidency. So the real question is, what's on your shelves? So can you feel that? See, we're all presidents, but what's on your shelves? Hey, Ronnie, 60-year-old Ronnie, 60 in 1 week or 60 in 2 weeks. But here's what I want to do is just go back over that poem and show you that each of us is a president. See, you have to be in charge of your life. You don't need Congress and opinions on what's going on. You get to veto the stuff that goes on in your life. So each of us is a president at some level. So let's go back over the poem and see how I broke that down. The second stanza says, are your shelves filled with old ideas, with volumes and volumes about how you won't change? Or is there just a little less dust on each chapter of your life to confirm that you have rearranged priorities, shifted opinions, even grown from constructive feedback? You see, in other words, you have to be open to change. If you're going to be the president of your life, if you're going to run your life the way and let it go the way you want it to go, if you're going to be able to meet your goals and aspirations, you're going to have to be open to change. And you're going to have to be, so that's what it says. Are your shelves filled with old ideas? See, are you not going to let go of some of those old ideas? Volumes and volumes about how you won't change. See, is that all we hear about you is how, well, this is the way it was and this is the way it's still going to be? No, that is the way it was, but here's how it has to be so that we can go forward. If we're going to say children are our future, we have to do things with children now to make them our present, because the truth is they're not our future. They're their future. They're our present. So change is an important concept that we all have to deal with. And we've got to find a way to deal with it positively, because we deal with change whether we like it or not. Change is a small thing. It doesn't happen in a big flash. It's very small drips. And you can look back at your life and recognize that most of the change comes small. And yes, Ron, old things are passed away, okay? And that's why they were there. But there it goes back to when I introduced it, where I said, you know, everything in my life is not the devil at work in my life. The devil is at work. That's his job. Are you on your job? Your job is to know the word so that you can't be tricked by how the word gets twisted. Okay? So the next thing I want, so remember, be open to change. Then the poem goes on to say, are your shelves tall? I don't want to say high, because I'm not talking about what you may like to get to allow your mind to drift away from my truth. Because my truth attacks you in a silent spot that has a sign saying, see the head librarian. In other words, a spot that you don't truly want to share, because you don't truly want to be set free. Are your shelves tall, with volumes and volumes of tales about what you could have done, might have been, or should have had? If only your stories didn't let your scapegoat be the hero. And have they gotten too tall for you to recognize yourself as tapped on the shoulder by grace that saved you from sitting on the have-not side of the fence? See, in other words, you have to be willing to share. Hey, Jane, welcome. Hey, Chris. You have to be willing to share for you to be the president of your life and for you to go on and make this thing work for everybody. And here's some things that I want you to know that you have to be willing to share. One, you've got to realize that secrets sometimes will free you. There's some secrets that you need to share because they will free you from what's going on. Oh, I'm wishing you all the best at the doctor's office, Jane. Tell the doctor to tune in, okay? And here's some of the secrets that will free you. Well, secrets that you have about your dreams and aspirations. That's what the poem is talking about when it says, are you hiding tales of what you could have been, could have done, might have been, should have had? See, if only your stories didn't let your scapegoat be the hero. In other words, are you blaming somebody else for what you didn't achieve? So you've got this secret, hey Tina, you've got this secret longing, a jealousy that's holding you back. You know, give yourself closure and go on and say, look, this is what I wanted to do. And it's not about they stop me, T-H-E-Y, the haters, especially you. See, that's who they is or they are, the haters, especially you. If we don't believe in ourselves, we find other people to hold us back. So we'll say it's because of our race, because of our sex, because of our size, our education, our gender. We'll find a reason to justify that we didn't get what we wanted, when in fact, all it was it wasn't our time. It's the same thing we use to calm someone else down and soothe their pain. So, hey, look, it just wasn't your time. If it's for you, God will give it to you. But, you know, just wasn't your time. So hang in there. So it's just as you would encourage somebody with that saying, recognize it and encourage yourself with it as well, because it applies to you too. In fact, more so than anybody that you can say it to. So don't look for people to blame, because blame is B-L-A-M-E, basically lying and making excuses. B-L-A-M-E, basically lying and making excuses. Because the thing is that it's always somebody is, I'm saying that people should get credit for what goes on, not blame. If we make a mistake, rather than beat up the person who made the mistake, let's credit, okay, here's that mistake. What are we going to do to make the adjustment now? Let's get focused on the solution rather than the problem. I'm sorry, because you need to focus on the problem, but let's get focused on the solution more so than the setback. Let's not keep saying, this is going to set us back. This has set us back. You know, no, here's what we're going to do now. This is where this has put us now. Here's what we're going to do. What'd you say, Tina? I'm blessed doing what I love to do, but work with people who are sadly haters. You are so right. Yeah. And you know what? But you know what I like about your sentence? You work with people. See, I always say, when somebody said, well, Sporty, who do you work for? I say, I work for me. I work with people at a company for myself. So just that change in your vocabulary can take care of some of the stress in your life, and it can minimize those people who you may see as haters, and recognize that possibly there's just something going on in their life that doesn't allow them to be happy. And you know what? You need to show them. See, people have to look at you, and that's coming up in my notes too, but so I don't have to wait till I get there, but people have to see joy in you, and that way you give them permission to see the joy in themselves. So don't worry about who the haters are, because the truth is they can't steal your blessing. So don't let your energy go down. They're supposed to hate. That's their job. That's what they do. But it's because of a stereotype, and it's because of lack of exposure. There's something about you that they don't know. There's something about you that reminds them of someone who did something to them. So therefore, they have put you in that category, rightfully so, because they, you know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right? So someone did something to them that you remind them of that person. So they have to keep their arms distance thinking that you are that person until they do what I said at that first juncture, until they're willing to change, then they won't give you the chance to show that you are who you are. And that's really what's going to help them get through one of their secrets, because again, that's one of their secrets. Okay, can I use the definition to the word blame? Oh, please, actually, absolutely do. Wait, you want me to type that in there right away? All right. Yeah, blame, basically lying and making excuses. What's up, Kenny? Our Spurs are the hottest team in the NBA. Okay, I'll be watching them tonight. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Anyway, I digress. So let me get back on target here. Okay. So that goes back to what our message is today. It's the levels of presidency. You're the president. And so you're the president of You Incorporated. And there's going to be someone who doesn't want you to be the president. They don't want you to be in charge of your life because they don't want you to be in charge of their life because they're not in charge of their life. So since I'm in charge of my life, I'm not afraid of you being in charge of your life. I want you to be in charge of your life because you are not going to take over my life. We're going to work together. So that's the thing that you have to recognize is again, it's not about blaming other people. And then did y'all get they, T-H-E-Y? The haters, especially you. Okay? Because if you don't like yourself, then what you'll do is you'll find someone else to blame. You give them credit because it doesn't matter to me what someone tells me I can't do, or if they show their jealousy, I'm okay. It doesn't bother me. You know, I'm still who I am, and that's what I'm going to be. Okay. Hey, Thomas, what's going on? Hey. All right. See you at the next cookout, I guess, sooner or later. Okay. So where was I? So anyway, I was telling you how important it is that you have to recognize that there are secrets that you have about personal responsibility. You have to take, that's what the blame and the haters is about. You have to take personal responsibility for who you are and for where your life is going. Once you do that, you actually don't have time to notice who's hating on you. You don't even have time to blame someone else or really what I call give them credit for disrupting your life. I'm so busy being me, I don't even see all the nonsense going on around myself, you know, because it doesn't affect me. I think about professional athletes, and especially, let's use basketball because it's still a basketball season. Think about that guy or that woman on the free throw line, right? The clock is stopped, and the crowd is going wild. There's people screaming against them, as well as people screaming for them. So even the people that want you are still a part of the noise. And what you have to do is be able to block out that noise regardless of where it's coming from, because you don't care where it's coming from. All you care about is, I've got to make this shot. I've got to get where I'm going. I got to get my goal. And so for me to get my goal, I'm going to have to blank out the people who are for me as well as the people who are against me. And I said that backwards. The people who are against me as well as the people who are for me. I got to blank them out because, you know, the people who are for me, I'm going to help them even more by blanking them out in certain spots, because if they are spending a lot of their energy guiding me, then they can't be ready for my success. They want to, you know, it's just like when you teach a child to ride. Don't you want to take the training wheels off the bicycle? If I have to keep running behind you, holding it, I can't do what I need to do so that when you can ride the bike, I can help you enjoy it. I never thought of that one until I just said it, but that was damn good. All right, but that's what you have to do. Is start to see the joy and the beauty in your life of being who you are. So take that personal responsibility. And the last thing about the secret is that recognize that secrets are a blessing. See, the secrets that you have are a blessing. but you still want someone else to feel you. I see what I want. Okay, secrets. One of the things that you have to share is the secrets that were blessings, but you still want someone else to feel like they hurt or they owe you. You know, you're right, Ron. You got to take the full responsibility. And that walks right into this. Sometimes we've got a secret where, oh, well, so-and-so broke my heart, or so-and-so took this from me and they owe me this. But it's such a good thing that they did. That person you broke up with is the person that helped you realize what type of person you were really looking for in terms of a mate. That person who stabbed you in your back helped you see a different side. Hey, Sharmella calling in from Kuwait. You know, that person who stabbed you in your back gave you a new appreciation of the people that you can trust. And maybe it stopped you from stabbing somebody in the back, because what goes around comes around. But you want to still act like, so it was a blessing that that person has moved out of your life, or what they did in your life. But since it was a negative thing when it happened, you want to still act like that's the worst thing that happened in your life. But it was the best thing that could have happened. You need to thank that knucklehead that left your life, and that fool that broke your heart or stole from you. That's a hard thing to do, but don't we try to say that? Don't we try to say, well, God says, to forgive your enemies. Again, think about the stuff that you say and find a way to make it work for you with it making sense. So sometimes what you need to share are the secrets that were really blessings. That's how you forgive someone. By recognizing, you know what? It's just like the Bible says, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. So that's one of those things that's a blessing, that we don't need to continually be angry with this person, when in fact what they did was the best thing that they could have done, because that's what they were put in our life to do. That's right, Sharmella, all the way from Kuwait. I love you. All right. So be open to change. Be willing to share your lessons. And this next stanza talks about how important it is to be an achiever and be respected. It says, are your shelves tall? Because each of us here respects your tall shelf mentality. We support your worthiness, value, and reputation of being head and shoulders above the rest. So we read on about you, smile, and occasionally look back, never once deciding that you benefited or lost simply because you're Black. See, in other words, be an achiever regardless of race, creed, color, sex, national origin, etc., or you actually minimize your success. Aren't we all trying to be a part of the human race? Wouldn't it be nice to get started now? Put the accomplishment first, then the category. I don't want to be the best Black speaker. I want to be the best speaker. Now the categories, what do the categories? I'm not saying that the categories have no use or no value. What the categories do is allow you to spread out the blessing so that you don't lose everything at once, hopefully. Because see, if I'm if my first category is I'm the best speaker, then I'm the best Black speaker, then I'm the best male speaker, then I'm the best 63-year-old speaker, then I'm the best speaker in Charlotte. See, all of those categories, because somebody will come and knock me out as being the best speaker in the world. And so, but I still got my other 7 categories. Then someone will come and become the best male speaker. I lost that category, but I still got my other 6 categories. You see what I'm saying? So the categories are good for helping you not lose everything at once, because you will be replaced. And whatever you're doing, you will be replaced. Records are made to be broken. That's one of the cliches. Thank you, Ronnie. I'm the best speaker. You got it. But records are made to be broken. When your record is broken, what do you still have? Does that break you as a person? No. That's where the categories come in. So make your achievement be about the fact that you are an achiever. Don't instantly go into putting yourself as, oh, well, I'm the first Black, I'm the first woman, I'm the first. No, make your unless unless that's what the achievement is, by the way. Unless, if that is what the replacement is, so we got to think of that too. But always find that higher thing and let your categories spread your blessing out. Find new categories. Last year, when in the Toastmasters contest, when I won second place, and that's what I call it, I won second place. I didn't finish second. Everybody said, well, you finished second or you ended up in second. No, I won second because there were 10 of us. One guy won first place, and then there were 9 of us left for winning second. I won second place over the other 8. See, so it's all about the mindset. I focus on my achievement rather than focus on what has been given to me. Because if someone gives you something, they can take it away. But if you earn something, then it can't be taken away because it can only be replaced in a time slot. All right? So, and then be respected. Man, I lose it when someone doesn't respect me. Not on the surface, but inside. When someone disrespects me, oh man, I lose it. I just totally I don't want nothing to do with that person. I don't sit there and visibly show anger. But it's like I said earlier about being able to be focused on whether it's they're on the hating on you or on your side. I put that person in a slot. And I said, this person disrespected me. Well, I know how far I can or cannot go with that person in my life. And so, yeah, I forgive and forget, but the penalty still applies. And that's the way you have to recognize it. You know what? When we're using the Bible, the Israelites were the chosen people according to the Bible, right? But guess what? That 40-year wandering the desert, that wasn't a part of the original plan. That was the penalty because they kept, disobeying God. So, about going to the promised land. So he said, you know what? Now after all of this, y'all not going. Turn back around and wander for 40 years. When all of y'all die, then I'll let your descendants go into the promised land. See, understand that Bible. Don't just read it or don't just listen to somebody else tell you what it says. Don't even just listen to what I said. Read, see if what I just said is true. The Israelites and Moses didn't get to go to the promised land either because he disobeyed God along the way. God was saying, do this, and they kept saying, well, should we? No, yeah. That's what goes on in our lives as well. So respect is very important to me. And I know that point I was making was on forgiving and forgetting because that's part of the respect. If you disrespect me, I'll never forget that. But I will forgive it because I know that you didn't kill me. You disrespected me. I know now where to categorize you in my life. I know what I can't get done through you. And if you say, well, you may grow out of that. Depends on what happens, and maybe we'll see. But that's another broadcast. Let's get this one closed out. So the last line is, last paragraph stanza says, are your shelves, and this one, the principle you want to focus on is how important it is to close it out, and that is to be you. Be you. Are your shelves as filled on the left as they are on the right? Are your morals and values in visible sight? Are the things we should really know about you neatly filed away? Or do we get to read about your viewpoints and quote what you have to say? Can we enjoy you as a novel, laugh at your comic books, thumb through the photo albums, enjoy the memories and the evolution of your look? Will we give you the credit you deserve without attack and realize there's no benefit or loss? You're just good. And in your case, you happen to be black. And some of us are in charge of companies, others just our families and ourselves. You see, we're all at some level of presidency. So the question is, what's on your shelves? Okay? So that, you have to be you. It is so important to be you. If you add up all of those things, be open to change, be willing to share your lessons and your secrets, be an achiever, be respected, but be who you are. Because there's something about you that nobody else can fulfill, and that nobody else can knock down. They can attack it, but they can't knock it down. They can knock you down, but they can't keep you down. You have to be willing. Think about it, even in a boxing match, when the person gets knocked down, you know, unless they were totally knocked out, they have the option to try. They still do try to get back up unless they're totally unconscious. And, you know, and maybe they can't, you know, they wobble, they just so knocked out that they can't. But you try to get back up. And guess what? Look at your life. Look at your track record. You've gotten back up every single time. And haven't you been through some stuff? So I want you to remember that you are the president of your life. And we respect you, Mr. or Miss President. And so, in fact, I got my shirt on today. I call it my bleep shirt. And those of you who know my mother will recognize it. Okay. Oh, there we go. Bleep, B-L-E-E-P. Believing Leah's enjoying eternal peace. That's part of my message. Because my mother taught me to be the president of my life, and so did my father, Ricky. But recognize that you make a difference in a lot of people's lives. Life is about going from one puzzle to the next. There's a small, medium, or large piece of the puzzle in every single one of your family, social, or business relationships. Yet, no matter what puzzle piece size you see yourself as, without you, the puzzle is called incomplete. So recognize that you make a difference. How you feel affects other people. That's why I call that the top line. And God bless you for enjoying me again on Glue Wednesday and allowing me to bring this message into your life. You take that message and brighten someone else's life up as well. God bless you. Take care. Thanks again, Sharmella, checking in from the furthest distance. She's checking in, y'all, from Kuwait. Hey, and by the way, week after next, I'm gonna be broadcasting from Japan. So I gotta find out the time difference. And but I'll be bringing you Glue Wednesday from Japan on on April 3rd. So that's not April Fool's Day. I gotta figure out, that might be actually Thursday. So I might be able to tell you what's gonna happen tomorrow. All right, God. Oh, hey Clue, you got on time. Hey Clue and Renee, y'all got on time in time for me to say see ya. I'm over and out. God bless you all. Take care, and I'll see you next week on Glue. Ciao.